Welcome to the Fearfiction Podcast. Fearfic is the term for short horror fiction, mostly posted on the web. It includes any and all related subgenres. Join three assholes talking basement goo Slimebeast, inebriated interstellar traveler Abysmii, and irritable ghostly man-horde Dead Palette, as they read all stories horror and internet-related, paragraph by paragraph, and bullshit while they do it. From adolescent revenge fantasies to subtle postmodern narratives about real-life events and everything in between, they read it and critique. You better believe it. Kick it to the cold open, white boy.
There was a woman who, years ago, threw a infant child out the side of a car. And, just left the dead body there at the side of the road. And police, took in the baby, took in all the information, got its DNA. This happened 30 years ago. And because of this, they always tried to hunt her down, find out who threw this baby out the window, and just, heartlessly murdered this baby. And, they had no leads. They just had the baby's DNA. And apparently, those like online DNA testing things that tell you that you're a Native American so you can, run for president.
Right.
Apparently that information gets sent off to the FBI.
Of course.
And they found out who the woman was, and now she's standing trial.
Damn.
Well,
which I think...
What jokes am I supposed to make about that?
No jokes. I just think that it's like a long way to go to get someone for littering.
Oh. Ba-dum-bum. Okay, DP. DP. Is the entirety of that a made-up setup for that joke, or are you actually a ghoul?
No, that it actually happened.
Oh my god. Write your letters to deadpalette@gmail.com.
Well, that's not my email address.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Just write them there.
Send them there anyway.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the rules for this subreddit, and they're a little contradictory.
No,
one of them says,
babies.
Please keep in mind that things like pedophilia, rape, and over-the-top gore do not belong here. While it might be scary to you, things like that are not what this subreddit is about.
Well, it might be scary to you. It's not scary to us. We do it every day. God damn short scary stories.
Very next rule, adult content should be listed with an NSFW tag. Well, you mean like rape?
NSFR?
Not safe for rape?
Yeah.
Not safe for rape. Not safe for rapists.
Okay, so this entire cold open in the trash. Elias, delete all of that.
Slimebeast, I just want you to know, I wouldn't even rake you.
Not even once.
Well, not even once. Okay,
you know who would, though, is Uncle Tommy.
Who's Uncle Tommy? Oh, yeah, okay.
This
now,
is your fucking story that you picked out.
Now, you did say rake, right?
Yes.
Did we mention what? Yes.
Like the rake?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's. I wanted to know if that was actually a reference or if you just misspoke.
No, it wasn't a rake joke.
God.
It was an anti-rake joke. Did we say that we're at the r/scary stories, short scary stories?
Not yet.
Yeah, this is r/short scary stories, and these are the two most upvoted stories on there. So hopefully, these are incredibly short. So we should be able to,
That's what Uncle Tommy said.
Yeah.
What?
Now listen, it's really short.
Everybody, DP's new character, Uncle Tommy, the micro-penis pedophile. He's Uncle Tommy, micro-penis pedophile.
No one minds because I'm small.
Uncle Tommy, the micro-penis pedophile, is filmed before a live studio audience.
Of 8-year-olds.
Oh, God damn it.
Is this like back in black and white days when the FCC didn't let married couples sleep in the same bed on TV?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, you couldn't show a toilet.
But this was like something that also flied for some reason. No, these are r/short scary stories, and you'll see just how short they are.
Ooh.
Hey.
Is that a threat?
Yes. Ooh, this is a spicy episode, isn't it?
Hey, I just want to say to everybody out there, not my fault. Entirely Dead Pallet's fault.
I just like to say, please give us money because we will never, ever, ever be monetized on this platform.
Tweet your responses to this episode to dp@twitter.com.
Mm-hmm. Now, remember, I don't want you talking to him unless I'm around, you hear?
Yes, Dad.
I'm serious. Now tuck in your shirt. He's here.
Uncle Joe Biden.
Yes.
Yay.
Uncle Joe Biden. Micropenis pet. No.
Scandal.
The front door swung open, and there stood Joe Biden, drenched in sweat from a day's work in the summer heat.
All right.
Now I know this is fiction.
All right, so for everybody listening, the father is now Obama. Uncle Tommy will now be Joe Biden. So just hold on to your headsets, everyone.
Sasha, Malia,
tuck in your shirts. It's a scorcher out there, ain't it? He said, putting his bag on the floor and untying his boots. I appreciate you letting me crash for the night.
Joe,
in the White House.
Yes, the White House. Now listen. Just so long as you're gone in the morning, my dad replied coldly. So my guess, legitimately for the story, my guess is Uncle Tommy isn't really related to them. Maybe he's some eldritch creature that comes and stays the night, and they call him Uncle Tommy?
Possibly.
Maybe.
I'm immediately reminded of that story that you wrote. Of course, I'm forgetting the name of it now.
Dr. No.
With the relative comes and he's like mooching off of his... it's from the kid's perspective, and the relative comes and is mooching off of
War
the
and
dad
Peace?
for money and shit.
War and Peace.
Yeah, no, definitely War and Peace.
1984?
Catch 1984?
Catch 1984.
Of course.
Now, Uncle Tommy said, turning to me and lowering himself to a knee, where's my hug at? Where's my hug at? Been a while since I seen you last.
Uncle Joe, why do you always have to talk vaguely black around us? Where my hugs at?
Joe
It's
Biden.
like, Joe, we know.
Where's my homie hugs?
Oh, God. Do you think that if Joe Biden is the Democratic nominee for president, that he'll be in a debate with Trump, and he'll just be looking at the audience and going, man, I don't know what this guy's talking about. He crazy. Am I right? Where my hugs at? No? No? Anyway, I'm just picturing Joe Biden, quote unquote, talking black on the podium, and it's very funny.
It is. It is.
It is very funny.
It's not that what you said wasn't funny. I just had no follow-up.
Everybody agree that what I said was funny? Abysmii?
It's especially funny when the camera cuts to Obama, who's like in the third row or something. He just has his hand in his forehead in his hand, going, "Oh my God, please stop."
Now, here's something that my good friend, former President Barack Obama, taught me. Everybody, it's time to get zoppity, right? Anyway.
Oh, he's like Marge. It's like, I'll crump with you.
Oh my
I'll
God!
crump with you, Trump.
If somebody can Photoshop Joe Biden crumping, that would be okay. Now, Uncle Tommy said. Oh no! Wait.
No, we already did that.
Later, he said, I took a couple steps toward him and leaned in for a hug. His tight embrace made me uncomfortable. He massaged my shoulders. I let out a light whimper.
Yo, homie, this embrace is tight.
Yo, dude, this embrace is tight. Twite?
Twite.
It's twite, yo, that's what we're saying now on the streets. It's twite.
Beat your ass at Bubble Bobble.
Oh, I beat your ass at Bubble Bobble. God damn it.
I don't know. Don't you know it's 100 degrees out there? He asked, tugging on my long sleeves.
I just want to point out that Abysmii's impression of somebody out on the street sounded like a Kennedy. I'll beat you at Bubble Bobble.
I am running for president again from beyond the grave.
Look out, honey, it's a roving gang of thuggish Kennedys.
It's Zombie Kennedy, look out. What did you do to Boston? I haven't been outside today, I recited to him.
Recited, eh?
Yes.
Don't you have some chores to finish up? Dad interjected.
Knew that was my cue to leave, so I shuffled off to my room.
Later that night, I lay in bed, tossing and turning, unable to be comfortable. when I heard the thud of footsteps in the hallway outside my bedroom. After several long seconds of silence, the door opened quietly. The dark silhouette of a man entered the room, and the door closed again.
Sorry.
Will you do the child beating? For several more seconds, there was nothing but unrelenting silence. I might have thought I had dreamt it all if it weren't for the sound of a hushed breath being carefully released.
I could feel him getting nearer. The warmth of another person in the room was unfamiliar at this hour. Would you be able to feel warmth of somebody in the room?
Only if they're really close.
I was not prepared for this. I prayed he would go away, to even come back in the morning if he must.
He reached down and touched me. He rolled me onto my stomach and lifted my shirt. From the corner of my eye, I could see two things: the faint beam of a pocket flashlight and Uncle Tommy's eyes studying my bare skin. His rough fingers ran up and down my back. Suddenly, he got up and walked to the bedroom door and left. I tried again to fall asleep, eventually succeeding.
Okay, so subversion would be that he's checking him for a mark of some sort?
Yeah. And it's actually the father who beats him or something.
Mm-hmm.
He was gone by the time I awoke.
Around noon, the phone rang while my father was out.
Hello? I answered. That's my best Sasha / and/or Malia impression.
Hey, buddy.
Uncle Tommy?
Yeah, your dad around?
No, sir. Went to the store.
Good, he said, his voice a bit shaky. Oh, good. He was silent for a moment. I'm calling about last night. I don't know if you were awake or not.
I was?
Well then, I'll just get right to it. I'm in love with you. I want to have your children. I've got a question for you, and I need you to be honest with me. Can you do that?
Yes, sir.
How'd you get all them bruises?
Where'd you get all them Pokemon?
Oh, and the last line is, so you want to know how I got these bruises? My father hit me.
Guys, rape and pedophilia, unacceptable, but child abuse, perfectly fine.
Now you're talking my language. But yeah,
God damn it.
I mean, at some point, that's got to come up.
I don't understand these rules. It's kind of like...
I see a little silhouette of a man. But yeah,
no, I think that this is a fine story. I don't think we would have predicted the ending as much if we didn't drag it out and make fun of it, you know?
Yeah, no, this is fine. It's definitely microfiction, so it does have certain constraints. But yeah, no, perfectly well put together.
You know what I would have liked a little bit more of? If we had better description of Uncle Tommy, because we get a little bit here and there about his boots and everything and stuff like that. But if we just had a little more information, I think the red herring would be better.
A little more interaction between the three of them. Again, trying to remember the name of Slimebeast's story, but
I don't even remember what it was. It was
basically
about Subway chicken or something like that.
Exactly, but the point is that there was a meal that took place and dialogue was exchanged, and there's just a lot of just world building, not even world building, but just character development. And this, it's hey, Tommy, Uncle Tommy's here. Don't fucking talk to him. Go to bed. And then Tommy did a thing, and then I got a call, and then we're done. And I get it. It's macrofiction, but it could just be a little bit more.
By the same token, they're also kind of, in an abusive household where everything needs to be terse, so you can't have too much interaction. Blah blah blah.
True.
You also get the idea of you got to tuck in your shirt because he's going to abuse you. When in all actuality, it's he was tucking your shirt that way he doesn't see the bruises.
Yeah.
So that's a good bit of clever turning. This is the top rated story. The question is, does this deserve it?
We're gonna find out.
I think it's a pretty decent story. I would say that,
Well, I will
it
say
deserves
this.
to be at the top.
The difference between this and the second is thousands, 1,200 points or something. So quite a big gap there.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that previous story, it's put together fine and everything like that, but there probably have been many, 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 many stories where it's like, the monster crept into his room, and the monster, came up to the bed, and the monster whispered to the kid, do you want me to take care of your abusive father for you? Like, like that type of thing. So I don't know.
The thing wearing mommy skin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
mommy
now
wearing a thing skin. Mommy wearing a sheepskin.
Mommy wearing a foreskin. When you really think about it, aren't condoms just hijabs for your penis?
Yes.
Life is a traitor. Life of a traitor.
Life is a traitor.
Then you die.
I'm just a kid, and life is a traitor.
Like the concept of death, but the opposite. It's really funny.
It is funny. I agree.
In a maximum security prison filled with murderers and rapists. Man, we're just breaking all the rules, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing they can do to you is leave you completely alone.
Not true.
Solitary confinement.
I'm pretty sure worse things can happen.
The worst thing they could do to you is probably slowly remove your eyelids, maybe, and stuff like that.
Yeah, someone could, rape you and then, stick you in the stomach where you slowly bleed out to death over, a couple hours. That could be pretty bad.
Why is this the rape episode? Why is this the rape episode of the Fearfiction Podcast?
Okay, it's maximum security prison. This is a given.
Now I'm just picturing Abysmii as a background character on one of those shows. Where he's standing in the background in a orange jumpsuit, and he's just calling out, "It's maximum security prison. This is a given. Come on."
Everyone's just angry. Everyone's so sensitive these days.
Yeah.
The human brain needs input, or it quickly descends into horrifying madness of its own company. Should be the horrifying madness, but whatever.
In 2086, when the world government fell into dictatorship.
Wait, when was there a world government? That's not too far from here. Did we get one in 2050 and then 26 years later or 36 years later, just fuck it.
Yes.
We're done.
Yes.
Well, I mean, the European Union's making its moves, guys.
The European Union headed by Angela Merkel and not Hitler.
Cyber brain Angela Merkel.
Android Angela Merkel.
Android Murder Kill? Is that her name? In 2086, when the world government fell into a dictatorship, capital punishment became very common. Unlike now, where it's incredibly common across the world. However, it was solitary confinement that people feared. That was reserved just for treason.
That's weird, because I thought in the future there would be no capital punishment. You would just freeze the criminals if they performed a murder, death, kill.
That sounds like something that would happen.
You think people would want to make an example of traitors? So in this system, you'd have to put them in solitary confinement, I guess film them, and then say to everyone else, "Hey, everyone watch the live feed. See how crazy he is? This is going to happen to you," which seems very ineffective, as opposed to, "Look, traitor. Now I'm going to shoot him in the fucking head."
I'm trying to figure...
Twitch TV /
Traitor kill.
Twitch TV / capital punishment.
Yeah.
So why is there an offense called treason if you don't have any countries to betray if there's only one government?
All I know is that Wesley Snipes got frozen for tax evasion. Look what happened.
Oh, man. Poor bastard.
I spent my working life making the solitary confinement cells and carrying out the confinement. Here's how it works.
Here's how it works. You build the cells, and then you get locked in one of the cells at the end of the story.
I lock them in, and then I leave.
Yeah.
Is it like how it's made? Solitary confinement cells are very important. We're going to show you how they're made now.
Yeah.
First, you build concrete walls. These will then be fixed together with rebarb.
Mm-hmm. Just drop in your person, build another cell on top of them, no windows or doors.
Rebarb, is that like
no windows or doors?
Yeah.
Whose turn is it?
Yours.
The cells are molded to exactly fit the condemned. Ooh. They are human-shaped coffins.
Which are also coffins.
Or a coffin.
Coffins are human-shaped. They're not for squid.
I mean, you can put
a squid in. You get your squid coffin right now. Got another live one over here. Put him in the squid coffin. See that's how you like it in the squid coffin for a week.
That's some Junji Ito shit right there, or whatever you pronounce it.
Please, just kill me.
Arms out to the side at 30 degrees, legs 45 degrees apart. For the insertion process, the traitors are sedated.
It must be a pretty big insertion.
Calm down, DP.
I can hear you frothing at the mouth.
The eyes, ears, and mouth are not damaged, but are all sealed permanently shut, aka damaging them.
Yeah.
An automated breathing tube inserted through the anus, through the throat. 3 IV lines are inserted to feed nutrients. We use 3 lines in case of mechanical failure on one. Catheters are inserted to handle waste. Why don't you just kill
This is incredibly expensive.
At a certain point, you have to ask, why not just kill people?
If you're a world dictatorship, like, why would you care?
If Angela Deathkill, Android Deathkill, maybe just has a fetish for this.
Maybe.
Because this is sounding a lot like those like weird breathing fetish things.
Yeah.
Where you put them in the suit and then you like cut off their breathing temporarily.
Maybe the cell is perfectly molded to the body, and maybe they just give it back to the family, and they just set them up at like holidays and family events. Just stand them there.
Mein Dictator, what do you want to do with the traitor? Shall we shoot them out back? 9! I want you to spend abhorrent amounts of money. I want you to bankrupt a small country to keep them alive for my amusement.
Yes.
The condemned are sealed and buried in the very public traitor's grave with enough autonomous supplies to last 80 years, but to be considered dead from that day.
Okay.
What? Why?
Because
Why
there has
would
to
you
be
do this?
There has to be the setup for a tremendously terrible way to spend many, many years for our author to be in at the end of the story.
But the point, like, what? So they go to this graveyard where no one can see them, and I guess maybe people will think about it if they pass by. What's the point of this?
This is a fetish story.
Could be. This is their way
I think
around the
this-
rules.
Yeah, this is a fetish story. I'm not
Yes.
joking. I think it really is.
We didn't
Oh, you
say
might be right.
who wrote the last story, did we? It was.
Oh shit! You're right. We didn't. Sorry.
But the thing is, because I was about to say, cab number 1729 wrote this story, and we're not literally saying you definitely have a fetish. It just
One
seems
person.
like it.
Yeah. Sorry. Uncle Tommy's Visit was written by Writal. Writal.
All right. So who read last here?
Not me.
I read last.
Okay, so it's me. Nasty, right?
Well, that has been my job for the last 20 years, and I am pretty numb to the idea of it. Too bad I'm going to spend my life in one of them. Oh, 1 person a
Enough.
day entered the traitor's graveyard. Wow. A traitor a day. Damn.
Dictatorship.
This was so that the condemned person's story could feature on the evening news, along with their frenzied begging for a pardon. It hasn't caused me distress in many years.
So, okay, there we go. So they say, okay, still, this is ineffective, though. Yeah, we got another traitor today, guys. They're going to go away where you can't see or hear them. Okay, cool.
I think that you're just saying that it's not effective because you're a liberal hippie.
True.
Oh, absolutely.
It's that California culture.
Well,
That
no. If I were a liberal hippie, I would want the government to do all this and to spend my taxpayer dollars on it.
You're right. You're right. It's the biceps, predator meme, and then one's labeled spending government money, and the other one's
Liberal hippies.
capital punishment. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was until last week when I was convicted of treason. What is there like an underground, like, people in Antarctica are like causing an uprising and like they're not part of it, like because it's a world government. You can't be treasonous if there's no one to betray. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, yeah, no, you just violate. Wanting to overthrow said government would be treasonous. I mean, a world government could make whatever they want treason. So
I suppose.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I think is funny, is Abysmii, when you were talking about a story that I had previously written, and I mentioned 1984.
Mhm.
This is 1984. It's somebody who works within the dictatorship, the crazy-ass government.
sure.
It's people being convicted of being traitors, 1 a day, every day, meaning they're not really traitors. And it's the person who's, the main character in the story being convicted of treason. It's...
Yeah, which is not, Like that's fine.
Right.
I don't think it's plagiaristic or anything.
No,
like
it's just
that.
strange. Strange that we would mention that previously.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't know what we were talking about. I keep getting distracted because Chelsea is sending me pictures of lesbian haircuts.
So buzz cuts.
So she's sending you pictures of men with
Or
haircuts?
is it those asymmetrical bods that some of them do? Because those are cool as well.
It's an asymmetrical Bob compilation.
Yay!
I
Those
used
are
to
cool.
play bass for asymmetrical Bob compilation.
See, my first thought was, hey kids, here he comes, Asymmetrical Bob! Oh, he went down. Okay, never mind.
Asymmetrical Bob compilation sounds like fucking something that would come up on Pornhub that people are oddly fine with. Like, oh yeah, no, I like this.
Makes sense.
It's something that comes up in your recommended feed that you didn't know you wanted.
Yeah.
Where we had...
I can't really argue.
Is it me?
I think, who read Until I Was Convicted of Treason?
I was. I was convicted
Okay.
of treason.
God damn, these are short. Okay, I can't really argue. I'm guilty. But after seeing the things I have seen, is it surprising I turned to murder? That should be a question mark, but there isn't one. This regime needs to be brought down. This barbaric practice of solitary confinement needs to end now.
This barbaric proctology.
Oh, boy. But it will take a better man than me to achieve that. Okay.
Who did they murder?
I don't know,
why?
but they just said they had become numb to it and didn't care, but now it's...
Yeah.
I'm a big old traitor.
I feel like we're missing a lot of context, and I understand that this is a short story, that's fine, but I don't know who this is. I don't know what they've done, and I'm invested pretty much zero amount into their plight.
Here would be a
this
good
is-
twist. You want to hear a good twist?
Yeah.
What?
He was caught, after many years of doing this, he was caught actually killing the people before they were put down in there.
Oh,
So
mercy
that they wouldn't
killings.
be
You know.
suffering.
That's a good one. That's a good...
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I read ahead. That's what it is. Nice.
Ah,
That's
Oh, it
fun.
is?
God damn it.
Today I woke up from the sedation, my eyes and mouth sealed shut, deafening silence and dazzling blackness greeted my panicked brain. Fight or flight response kicked in, and I chose between 0 options. I have no options, and I must make a choice.
Darkness. All that I see.
Prisoning me. Absolute catheter.
At Absolute
Catheter.
Catheter, we'll handle all your catheter needs. Alright, Bismoid.
I can't move an inch. Even my fingers are molded in place.
Okay, but read the story.
I can't move an inch. Even my penis is molded in place.
Aw. Boy, that would be tough. What if you really got off on this and you were getting an erection in there? That'd
Yeah.
be horrible. I just keep thinking about all those people I put down there. All the things I wish I had done differently.
I can't have been down here for more than a week, and I would choose death if I could.
How is he writing this?
Yeah. I would give anything to take back the treason I committed, the 7,000 people I killed.
I do wonder,
Uh,
where was... never mind.
I only did it to save others from untold suffering. I did it while they were sedated. Okay. A syringe of air into their veins to cause cardiac arrest. 1 murder each day for 20 years. Okay, so it did use the twist I said, but yeah. It's just me alive down... Oh, that's not my line. Go ahead.
Whatever. Just finish. Whatever.
It's just
It's
me
just me
alive
down
down
here.
here, living the life of a traitor. Okay.
No, but I think that part of it is it's keyhole fiction, but, all the holes are closed up.
Yeah, this would be better if... I don't know. It's hard to get invested with our protag here, just because I know so little about what's going on.
If this wasn't a short story, I think it would be a good story. I think that there's a way to tell this story. If it's a little bit longer, that's a good twist. I like it. It's
Yeah, no, again, like with the last one, it just needs a bit more. It doesn't have to be this short. It can still be a short story, but elaborate a little bit more on some things that would help ground us into the characters.
There are several fundamental issues with it. One of those being that if he's been killing 1 person a day for 20 years and, no prisoners have been alive down there, then you would think people would notice there was no waste coming out when they feed them nutrients and,
Yeah.
oxygen they wouldn't be respirating. I mean...
well, if he's monitoring all the stuff.
So you mean like he would be monitoring it and not reporting that he's seeing no respiration and stuff?
You're falsifying the reports.
I see.
Possible.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a nice detail to add to the story.
They're also like buried, and then like they're considered dead after 80 years. It seems like they're not monitoring it.
Yeah, like again, I'm gonna put you underground and deprive you of your senses and torture you. Well, it's just as easy to just bury them underground and then not give a shit. Like,
look, Abysmii, if you don't want to be buried in the BDSM catheter dungeon, just don't be a bad person, okay?
Just don't commit treason.
Yeah.
For unspecified crimes. I don't even know what I don't know. Whatever. I'm just going to repeat myself.
I wouldn't even put you in the catheter dungeon.
God damn it. Not even once.
Catheter dungeons.
I played...
What's your kid doing at 10 a.m.?
I played xylophone for catheter dungeon.
Boop, 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 boop.
Knock,
Okay.
knock. Knock, knock.
No.
Surprise, everybody. We're reading something from Archive of Our Own.
Yay. Beta. I think I just noticed that. Archive of Our Own. The beta.
Now, are we actually reading this given the tags?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
I'm pretty excited that the additional tags are as follows. Moonlight. Anal sex. Interspecies relationships. Creepypasta in love.
mpreg, I guess. And I'm surprised you skipped past the second tag, underage.
Oh, wait, where does it say that?
The second fucking tag.
Oh, god
Okay,
damn it.
it says that under archive warnings.
Underage.
Okay.
Let's see how many stories on here are tagged with underage. There are 5,000 pages of stories tagged with underage.
Okay, so...
Wait, the top hits for underage are like Kylo Ren and Rey. How are they underage? Did they write them younger? Why would you do that?
Okay, I think that their mindset is Jeff the Killer is underage.
Oh, I see.
But
Well, he is. He's 13.
Maybe.
is
Depending on the story. Yeah.
Well, it depends on the story.
he? God damn it.
There are, on an archive of our own, there are 5,000 pages listing 20 stories each marked with underage.
The fuck is wrong with you people?
That seems high.
Maybe it's... No, it's right. I clicked to number 5,000 to see if it would, like, recount the numbers or something like a Google result, but no. Here's page 5,000.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to assume that Jeff is of age. Maybe it's Slenderman that's underaged.
Maybe he's like 7, but in Slenderman person years, that's like 700. Who knows?
Maybe. Slender person years. Oh, God. Mystery Pines. Mystery Pines wrote this.
Creepy love.
I'm scrolling down and I don't see any numbers, so I think we can safely assume that Jeff the Killer is at least 18 years old.
All right, let me start at the first line here. Okay, I was 3 years old. What? DP! You liar.
This is Creepy Love by Mystery Pines. Summary. It's just smut.
Okay.
Notes. Something I'm just transferring over from ff.net. This is one of my first lemons I've ever written so far. The only one I was actually proud of it for many years. I didn't feel right to leave it on FF since I don't on fearfiction.net.
God damn it.
Since I don't feel comfortable on the site nowadays, and since I've been a ton of time on Archive of Our Own nearly every day, I've decided to bring it here to the good folks. Cool.
All right, I just want to preface, I want to put out a disclaimer before we read the story. If I get physically ill, that does not equate to homophobia. It's Jeff the Killer and Slenderman, and the tags are anal sex, mpreg, tentacles, blood play. I just want to preface. Oh my god, I don't know.
Reserve the right to just stop reading.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure, yeah.
I just don't give a shit anymore. I will stop.
Oh god, I just read the first line. Okay, go ahead.
Jeff giggled as one of his lover's black tentacles caressed the sensitive spots on his sides. his head thrown back at the tickling, and due to his eyelids being burnt off,
Yeah.
he unblinkingly looked at Slenderman, who towered over him in front of the moon, illuminating the forest with its majestic light. A couple of the tentacles went further up his white hoodie, tugging it up.
God damn it.
Jeff lifted his arms over his head to help remove the blood-stained clothing, and lastly the tentacles took off the black dress pants along with the underwear. Well, that was quick.
We're not wasting any time.
Nope.
Slenderman marveled at the sight of Jeffrey's pale, beautiful body for a few moments.
Okay.
Okay. The forever wide eyes glazed with lust. The ebony waist-length hair cascaded over the fresh spring grass. So he's laying down in the grass. As his hunger grew for the deranged boy, a mouth split open on his featureless head in a pointy-toothed smile, much like Jeffrey's, minus the jagged teeth and the dripping blood from the ripped skin. Okay.
So let's do a deep dive and analyze what's happening here.
Did you say let's analyze it? What?
It's like
Do some deep analyzing.
some deep entomizing. Jeff moaned at the sight of Slenderman's mouth. Slenderman lowered his head to kiss the teenager in a sloppy, blood-mixed with saliva French kiss with his black, forked tongue meeting Jeff's soft pink one. Are you making mouth noises?
Maybe.
Jeff whimpered. He wanted his lover, and he wanted him now. But the damned creature wouldn't go fast enough for him.
You're already fucking naked. There's been barely any foreplay. What's your rush?
How fast would you have to slap Jeff the Killer to cook him?
I'm trying to have sex with Slenderman in the forest, but my ass is too dummy thick and keeps clapping.
God damn it.
Alerting the guard.
Jeffrey urgently tugged at the suit Slendy was still clad in. It seemed like Slenderman didn't get the whole message. He was taking the suit off, but way too slow for Jeff's liking. That tease. The younger killer groaned in frustration. Okay, Abysmii, give us your best Jeff here.
Come on, Slendy. Just hurry up and take me already.
Okay. That's a ringtone if I ever heard one. Somebody has to use that for a ringtone.
You're welcome, everybody. You're welcome for that. He whimpered at the need to be penetrated.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Patience, my mate, Slenderman said in an otherworldly voice and whisper.
In an Australian accent.
Yeah. Well, he calls him mate. That means friend, right? To Jeff, it sounded like...
Little did we know all these years, Slenderman is a marsupial.
Yes.
We did establish that he visited Australia at one point, so...
To Jeff, it sounded like the wind was forming words as it blew through narrow spaces in order to speak to the him.
Yeah, you have to breathe to form words.
It spoke to the him.
Slenderman, by now, was naked, and his erect member was exposed to Jeffrey, who licked his succulent red lips in anticipation. Slenderman lifted Jeffrey's legs over his broad paper-white shoulders, then plunged himself deep into his mate's entrance without preparation. Jeffrey's mouth opened as a pain pleasure scream escaped from him.
Oh, God.
Jeffrey shivered from Jeff shivered.
This is your fault. This was your decision. Get through it.
It's like when you ask mom for the big French fries and then you can't finish all the big French fries. Jeff, I'm just trying to stop laughing. Jeff shivered from the slender person's stillness. The smell of blood emitted through the air.
Still a better love story than Twilight.
Mm-hmm. Slendy, Jeff mewled. Mewled?
Mewled.
Thrusting his thrusting his hips back and forth to get friction. Please, move!
Oh, God. Why? Slenderman lowered his head to the teenaged maniac's ear to whisper, "As you wish." He wrapped a few of his tendrils tightly around the killer's smaller frame and let his instincts take over. Okay, how much more of this is there? Okay, not much.
A lot.
Yeah.
No.
We're like a
we're
third
good.
through.
No, we're good. It's it's slender and long, and the young serial killer moaned and shrieked wantonly as he was mercilessly pounded into.
Oh, God.
Jeff clawed at his lover's back in violent pleasure. Jeff tried, but found impossible to match the timing of his thrusts with his lover's. I guess Slenderman is just like a really erratic lover.
Sure.
You know, he can't get into the rhythm of it.
Ugh.
He could feel the blood dripping out of himself, but couldn't bring himself to care. Is someone into that?
Blood play. That was
Yeah.
in the tags.
Sure, but like out the ass? I'm bleeding out my ass.
Shoot.
In general, he couldn't feel the pain at all. With Slenderman, that was an exception. Okay? Every scrape on his back and chest, every bite to his neck, he could feel it. Could he feel it or couldn't he? Am I reading this wrong?
It's confused writing. I think he means that like he doesn't feel anything anymore except with Slenderman. I think.
Ugh.
I don't know.
I guess Jeff has been spoiled by Slenderman's size.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Can't feel it with him unless it's... with anyone else, all he would have felt was the pleasure from that particular spot on Slendy's person was currently ramming himself into.
This isn't even good for smut. Like there's barely any buildup. God damn.
He's not... Jeff is not delivering a pizza. They're not in a bathtub, and Slenderman's not a lifeguard.
See, that's what was so successful about my Sonic the Hedgehog X Master Chief fanfiction.
God damn it.
Is, it really played into their characters. You really got the dynamic there. I just don't think Slenderman and Jeff the Killer have any synergy as a ship.
They could, just not the way this is written. Slendy! Jeffrey moaned.
God damn it.
Is it turning into Seinfeld?
Yep.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's wearing the puffy shirt.
What's with all the blood from my anus?
That actually sounds like it could have been a real episode of the show.
He said he wanted to go in dry, but he keeps making my anus bleed.
Jesus Christ.
Getting mixed signals here.
Did it hurt, or didn't it hurt?
I like how your Seinfeld just sounds like a character from Hee Haw, like a country bumpkin.
Yeah.
that New York City comedy series where the main character would come in and go, "Hey, Elaine, how y'all doing?" Anyway, Jeff's small hands made a grasp for Slenderman on either side of his head. The stigma radiating being sank his jagged teeth into that pale neck that begged to be marked by him.
Stigma radiating being.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's supposed to be a dash, like a hyphen between stigma and radiating.
Even then, that's just okay. That's weird.
Stigmata?
Stigmata, radiation stigmata. That's that's another band. Jeffrey moaned loudly at the mix of pain and pleasure, especially the pain. Blah, 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 blah.
I used to play bass for a Stigmata radiating skank.
God damn it.
I think I want you to take this one, Abysmii.
Oh, Slenderman!
Slenderman removed his teeth from the wound to lick the blood off the pale shoulder. Slenderman trailed his black tongue up the underside of Jeffrey's chin and over his red lips before the tongue slithered its way into his hot cavern to play with his lover's appendix.
Oh, God.
What the fuck?
Guys, I'm having a great time.
Well, I tell you what, why don't you two read the rest? Because I'm out.
Is that your hard limit? appendix poking.
It's so fucking. I don't want to be too judgmental, but it's so stupid. Oh man.
Let me get to that soft. What, you had an appendix removal? What the fuck? This date's off.
Oh well.
No, that's what I love about smut like this. Is it's just the person alone with their own thoughts. Just
this just feels like fucking like a troll pasta. This feels like they're just like really soft appendix. Like that's a thing.
No, man. Well, I mean, I don't know if your appendix is hard, but
if you do, that's probably why you have to get it removed. Hardening of the appendix.
Yeah. I don't know. DP and I can take this if you really just want to sit it out.
You're making my appendix
It's just so
hard.
fucking stupid. Come on.
No, I know.
No, I don't think this is a troll pasta thing. I think this is legitimately someone's into this. It's your turn, Abysmii.
Oh, good. Slenderman, mouths, plural, still locked, unexpectedly pulled out and repositioned to where he sat on the grass with Jeff in his lap. How unexpected. Jeff whined until Slenderman stuck his tongue far down Jeff's throat and roughly penetrated the teen. If Jeff still had eyelids, they would have been as white as saucers. Wait, the eyelids would have been? Mm-hmm. Or his eyes would have...
His eyelids would have been as white as saucers.
His eyelids would have been gauged, like earlobes.
Oh, man. The Slender Man was pounding him with inhuman strength, with speed to match that would have broken a normal human. But now, if anyone's seen the Slender Man movie, this is actually strangely appropriate.
This actually happens in the movie, yeah.
Not quite. I'll just fucking say it. So there's the main character likes this boy, and then they start to hook up. But then, like, Slender Man's invaded her brain, so he starts messing with her brain. But the way it's done is hilarious because the guy starts has a goddammit, what's the name of that movie that does the slow motion head whirling thing?
Silent Hill.
Oh, the
Jacob's Ladder. Yeah.
Ladder. He starts doing the Jacob's Ladder thing, and it just keeps cutting back, and it's like everyone in the theater laughed. It was so fucking funny, and unintentionally so. Anyway,
and then Venom runs in and starts making out with everybody.
That would have been great. Blah, 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 blah. Paper white hands and black tendril roamed and cut into wherever they went over the slim body, carefully avoiding the stomach area, but the appendix is fine. One of Slender Man's hands went up Jeff's back until his hand was filled with burnt, shaggy black hair and gave a particularly hard tugged, granting better access to Jeff's mouth.
I am in awe.
This is so not sexy. Even if I was, this is just not well-made smut. That's it.
Are you guys saying that you're not turned on by the 6 foot plus tall guy made of silly putty and the fucking crispy critter burn victim? You're not turned on by that, really?
No, sorry.
I don't know about you guys, but my appendix is getting soft, if you know what I mean.
Is it about the rupture?
I'll keep poking it. You're going to make my appendix rupture.
Jesus Christ.
Jeffrey was in ecstasy as he felt himself nearing his release. He tried to warn his lover, but the tongue in his mouth and throat prevented him from doing so. Jeff could do nothing but hold on to Slender Man and moan as his completion game. Okay. Slender Man removed his tongue from Jeffrey's mouth and then lowered his head down his lover's chest. It doesn't say down to his lover's chest. Is Slender Man putting his head inside of Jeff's mouth until he's inside of his chest?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's using him like a Gundam, yes.
Playing with the little nubs of his black tongue with his... What? Excuse me?
You know how cats have 6 nipples?
Yeah.
That's what you're dealing with in the story.
Okay.
Playing with the little nubs with his black tongue as tendrils tweaked the other.
Okay. Slender Man moved his mouth up to the left side of Jeffrey's neck and bit down hard, drawing more blood as his seed filled up the teenager. Jeff the Killer shivered at the feeling of Slenderman's strangely cold ejaculation.
Oh, God.
Of course it's cold. That's why the fuck not?
Photonegative ejaculation.
That would just be like black tree sap? Pine tar?
Yeah. Gonna need to get that looked at later.
The both of them collapsed onto the grass, holding onto each other.
Ooh.
Slenderman can hear Jeffrey's rapid heartbeat loud and clear, as if the organ was laying in his hand instead of the
Why didn't he
organ's
just
owner.
do that? Like, at this point, just like say he also removed his fucking heart and looked at it as it beat fast.
Oh my!
All I know is this is yet another Slenderman fan who belongs in prison.
Jeffrey quickly fell asleep. He was too spent on his first time with Slendy. His abnormal energy was drained from his body just to have the ingredient of life inserted into him.
What?
So this was Jeff's first time?
With Slenderman.
Okay.
It could also be the first time, but explicitly said first time with Slenderman.
In the first time in forever.
So Jeffrey was with photonegative Mickey before this.
Oh, of course.
Ugh.
We're reading that one next. Slenderman looked over the unconscious boy he was still inside of. The forever visible eyes that usually held that insane gaze were now blank, peaceful.
Oh,
Here
God.
you go. Here you go,
Oh,
Abysmii.
God.
Go for it.
But the fourth dimensional being knew he couldn't call the
18.
18-year-old. Ah, okay.
18-year-old.
In some places, that's the age of consent. You couldn't call the
18.
18-year-old innocent anymore. The boy was
18-year-old.
now tainted. 18-year-old. Elias, put 18 every time I say a different number.
Elias,
He laid a
edit
hand-
me out of this episode entirely.
Do that. Just have just have empty space. He laid a hand on Jeffrey's smooth, flat stomach, the only place that didn't have any bite marks, cuts, or bruises. Oh my God, there was payoff for that. The only place he tried to avoid abusing. Slenderman bent down and licked the flesh that would soon hide the soul of both Slenderman and Jeff the Killer.
He's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, Elias, I just want to follow up on this. Cut me out of this episode. In my place, cut in pretty much any other YouTuber, and there's a 95% chance they will be a pedophile, so.
The slender person slid out of the teen and laid himself properly beside Jeffrey.
Oh,
Okay. Properly, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He scooped up his mate into his arms to bring the scrawny body closer to him, petting the burnt hair as he watched the boy sleep under the moonlight. And then Jeff the Killer woke up and it was all a dream.
Notes. I hope you enjoyed reading it. Leave a kudos and a comment if you like it. If you really liked it, or else Jeff and Slendy's love child shall haunt your dreams. Mwahahahahaha. Glasgow's gonna get you.
Glasgow's gonna get you. Glasgow's gonna get you.
JK, but if he really does... Oh, Glasgow's the name of the kid, I guess. Run like the wind. You know, I'm gonna say it. I liked Jane
All
and
of it. You
Jeff.
loved all of it.
I like Jane and Jeff are two people a lot more than this.
Sure.
Just a lot more than this.
Now, here's the thing. I'm looking at the comments. One of the comments is, OMG, I definitely want a sequel. I want a book. Slendy and Jeff dealing with weird-ass children. Yes, love it. Now, does he mean weird-ass children or weird-ass children?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It was awesome. I want to read where he wakes up and what happens. After that, then I also want to see how the child is born so bad right now, and your story was amazing.
And Meep says, will oo please make Jeff have the babies?
Ha! This was good. And babies. Just incidentally. And babies.
Oh my fucking god. Why? Okay. Can you comment here without registering? Okay.
Registering for what? What kind of list would you be registering for?
The NSA watch list. Why does this exist? Question mark. Comment. Please wait. Okay. Why does this exist? I just added that comment.
Okay. Well,
Under the name Dead
I
Pal.
think... Mm-hmm.
Our subscriber base is either going to explode or dwindle at this point. Time will tell.
Oh. Explode or dwindle. That's all we do. Either we explode or we dwindle. No in between.
Slenderman exploded.
Considering YouTube...
As Jeff's appendix dwindled.
Considering our subscriber base isn't going up or down, I think we're just going to stagnate here.
Probably.
Good.
I have a theory. A lame theory that if we turn on monetization, even if we don't use it, we'll probably get promoted more.
Well, we'd have to apply to get it. You can't just turn it on anymore.
Fucking garbage.
Also, we don't have 1,000 subscribers, so we couldn't apply anyway.
Alright, so Abysmii is going to leave a comment here. Please make the appendix come a life and become Babby. Comment.
Where's part 2 with just appendix play?
Appendix play. How much appendix play is in here?
The Coldplay cover band, Appendix Play. So yeah, that was a story that exists.
And we're going to read a lot more stories like this in the future.
No, we're not.
Mm-hmm.
We're not reading anything with half the tags this has.
That sounds like a challenge.
I like how moonlight is a tag. If you like moonlight in your romantic stories, read.
If you like pina coladas.
If you like
and appendix play.
Yeah.
That was awful.
This has been the Fearfiction Podcast. Your hosts are Abysmii, Dead Palette, and Slimebeast. Music by Abysmii. Art by C.F. Comer. Voiceover by Atticus Jackson. Edited by Elias the Intern. Subscribe to Fearfic on YouTube to stay up to date on new episodes.
Oi, Jeb Forrester here, the creepypasta hunter from Down Under. And we've gotten a tip from a dag on our message boards that there's a real special thingo in this thicket of tree ahead. I'm talking about the Anansi Goatman. This bloody mongrel likes to blend into his surroundings and do unspeakable things to you and your mates while you're on the piss at an outdoor B&S. So careful, you might be minding your own bizzo, rolling out your Matilda to slap some Sheila's massa tassie, then whoomp, you're headless with your strides down, your paggers and todgers are out, and your Sheila will be having a technicolor yawn at the gruesome sight. Shh! I think this might be him now. Down lower, mates. I'm ready for this guy, I am. This here is me granddad's boomerang. Perfect for thwacking against this bushy's big horns. Stay here. Crikey! Don't blink! That's no goat, man.
He ain't moving, he ain't.
Shush, you pommy bastard. That's SCP-173, the sculpture. If we blink at any moment, he'll crack our spines and we'll be as dead as cockies.
So he's like a weeping angel, he is.
Now he's way more dangerous. He's from the internet.
He looks like the untitled art piece by Japanese sculptor Izumi Kato, he does.
Just keep the camera on him. I need to take a smoke out.
Buggers biting me, they are.
Damn. Well, if the SCP didn't get him, the Mozzies would have.
So there's a YouTube channel called Sketchic, and it's a person who just does like short little weird TF2 compilations of like just cool stuff with pyro, and I love him because he was involved in a controversy where
he was involved in a terrorist attack.
So he made he made these cool little videos. It got like big in the community. People really liked his just short 30-second little videos about Team Fortress 2. But then he was like, hey guys, I have a terminal illness. I'm going to die. And then 3 years later, he's just like, that was a lie.
Jesus.
It's a lot of
April Fools, 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
He should have waited until April Fool's to reveal it. It would have been great. But no, he was like, man, I feel bad about doing that. I'm sorry. And people were super mad at him, and I'm just like, no, that's funny. I'm okay with it.
I have a terminal illness. I'm addicted to TF2, and there's no cure. Ah, you get me, fandom? Ah? You see what I did?
Well, that is kind of like, apparently he was like really depressed at the time, and like started just irrationally blaming all his failures on life and the fact to the fact that he couldn't stop playing Team Fortress 2. And so he was just like, I'm going to fake my death and then like tell the people to stop playing Team Fortress 2 and to go out and get a life.
I think we should get Prince Harry on this immediately.
Damn it. I was going to bring that up during the cold open.
Oh, well,
kind of. It may go to that, but yeah.
when we plug this onto the end of an episode, maybe you'll already have done the cold open.
Yeah.
True.
But now we have recorded evidence that that's a lie.
Just end it there.